Cancer, well, we knew your birthday was going to be a special birthday in a strange year, 2020. On your birthday, we've so many retrogrades and it's also eclipse season. But as the summer solstice wheels in Cancer season, it also brings in a beautiful new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, where there are so many beautiful things starting for you, so many amazing new paths opening up for you. And the good thing about it too is that there is so much energy to finally chop and sever ties with a lot of the karmic stuff that you've absolutely finished. I'm done with it. I've learned all the lessons I need to learn. I've been there, seen that, done that, bought the t-shirt. I really don't need that anymore. So the cosmos is coming in with the celestial scissors to just help you chop through that rope and let the old karmic ship sail off into the sunset as you stand on the shore waiting for your new ship to come in. So Cancer, it's a big month for you. Of course, it's your birthday. So before we get to the cards, I do have to do that one thing that I do, and that is to sing happy birthday for you. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cancers who were born in June. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, June babies, and happy pre-birthday to the July babies. This is going to be good. This is going to be a great moment for you. You're feeling in the zone and you're ready for a new beginning. So let's begin, my love. We're going to do what we always do. We'll shuffle the cards. We'll wait on all the right ones to come along for you. And in the meantime, let's talk about these energies. So we're going to begin on June 5th with 2 cards coming out, 3 cards actually. The lunar eclipse, the big full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius in your 6th house. And this just marks a real milestone here, Cancer. It's a period where you suddenly see that you no longer have to put up with or comply with certain behaviors. There's a feeling here, Cancer, for a long period of time, you had to behave right. If I need to fly right, I've got to behave right. There was an element of having to be perfect in your eyes, but perhaps also having to be perfect in other people's eyes. They dare not see the flaws. There must be perfection. If it was a relationship or a friendship or some other kind of relationship, family thing, it could have been, I have been dancing to their tune for a long time. They told me what to do, and just to keep the peace, I went along and did it. You know, you could have been in a relationship with somebody and they might have been very strange with money, like very mean with money. And you unplug from that, or have unplugged from that whole vibe, and you say, look, I don't need to be part of that anymore, to be going along with this stinginess with money. But I tell you one thing, I did learn how to handle my finances better, but I'm not part of that behavior anymore. The same with somebody expecting you to jump through hoops. It's this feeling, Cancer, of you unplugging from it and saying, I don't have to be part of that anymore, and the relief of not having to jump through those hoops anymore to other people's expectations of perfection anymore. But now that I've unplugged, I step back and I say, well, thank the heavens I don't have to comply to that behavior anymore, but I will be grateful. Because even in that weirdness, I did learn something that I'm now going to apply to my life. So I feel that, Cancer, it's the great unplugging from this feeling of having to, do something or behave a certain way to please others, to appease their level of perfection. And then saying, not mine, not my karma anymore. It's not for me anymore, but I will be grateful, as I said, that in that time of having to be perfect, I actually did learn a lot. So we learn a lot from good, positive situations, but sometimes we actually learn really important lessons from very negative situations, coming out of a bad relationship. Maybe one thing you were taught after that, you're saying, I can't see anything good in that. You were shown how never to be in a relationship like that again. You were shown how to have more self-confidence, self-worth, self-value and self-esteem, not to get yourself into a situation or relationship like that again. So even from that bad, shitty situation, you learned something. You learned something valuable that's going to stay with you for the whole of your journey here on this 3D plane. So it's that feeling of, I no longer have to play that game. I no longer have to jump through hoops. I no longer have to accept that other people are waiting to find fault in me. I don't care anymore about that stuff. You know, I don't care about my coworker, my boss, my manager, who are always fault finding things with me. You know, I'm unplugged from that. But to be fair, I did learn something from them. You know, I learned something, but a lot of it is learning how to not be in that zone anymore of fault finding, because that's something that's happening here too. A realization this month that it wasn't just trying to please and keep the peace with very difficult people who were very critical or fault finding. It wasn't just that. You had also incorporated that into yourself, into your own self-judgment, finding fault in yourself and being very, very hard on yourself, Cancer. Very hard. I must be perfect. I don't want people to find fault with me. I must be perfect within my relationships, my work, my friendships, how my neighbors see me, how society sees me, how my business clients maybe or whatever see me. They must not see the flaws. So you're finding fault in yourself, but that ends. That's a game that's over. The karmic game is up. I don't have to do that, because that perfection and kind of fault finding within yourself at some point kind of distanced it made you become very distant or alienated from people. This is a weird idea that I have, a weird image coming in. It's almost like you became like you know, the bird in the bird cage, perfect to look at. But behind the cage, it's like, don't come any closer. Don't scratch the surface or you might see my flaws. And it's like, that's you know, that's unsustainable. That's not real. And I don't have to be that bird in the bird cage. I can open that door and fly and spread my wings and not be trapped by this fault-finding behavior. You know what makes me perfect? My imperfections, because they're unique to me. They're what I love about me. And you know what's perfect? Finding people who appreciate that in me, and me having the confidence to say, look how imperfect certain things are about me, and laughing at it, and people loving it. As I said, what makes you perfect are these flaws, idiosyncrasies, the imperfections. It's what makes you uniquely you, and they are to be celebrated. But more than that, they are the things that are now driving your confidence, driving your belief in yourself. And again, I feel this thing of, now that I'm the bird free from the cage, I want to experience so much more. I want to try. I want to test. I want to prove, you know, that this freedom is valuable to me. I want my confidence to grow because I'm testing this new energy out. I feel that with you. Testing things, trying things. You're very strong. As we talked about last month, there's this month, a very strong connection between you and spirit. And that for me is one of the strongest things you're testing. And I just felt such a wave of happiness when I was going down that route, testing your connection with spirit, writing, speaking, reconnecting with spirit. I even hear things like, I'm ditching the music I used to listen to and going back to listening to that music again, because it's nicer, it's more melodic, it's more spiritual. I'm hearing things like some of you like turning off the top 100 hits and actually going in and listening to binaural beats, you know, kind of spiritual music, or doesn't have to be spiritual music. It could be classical music or some more. It's like it's more abstract or it's more spiritual. And, you know, it could be a well-known artist, but it's like when I listen to their music or when I hear their voice, it sends me and I feel connected to myself and connected to spirit. So that's very strong. I see you enjoying things of beauty, but it's a very private feeling at first. The beauty of spirit, okay, but let's define that. Beautiful, I see beautiful pictures, beautiful photographs, beautiful things in your home. And it's like crystals or things. It doesn't have to be that. It can just be just things that make you happy. It's these things remind me of me and I'm very connected to them. I don't know if many of you have this gift or some of you have that gift of being able to hold something and feeling something from it. You know, being able to hold an item, like, you know, if you have an old item from somebody that you love, a family member or whatever, and you hold it and you get images and impressions and feelings, it's like you're reconnecting through beautiful objects, through beautiful music. I just feel you're totally in that zone. Handling this reminds me of this person. Images, feelings, coming from touching objects. So there's something very hands-on. Touching, now that could be the North Node of Destiny in Gemini, in your 12th house. Gemini rules the hands. Getting back for some of you, that whole thing of being able to put your hands on somebody and healing them. And maybe thinking about studying more about that or learning more, becoming qualified to do something like that. It's the hands, it's touching something, healing with the hands. So we're going down a different route here, Cancer. We don't usually talk about things like that. Something you're able to put your hands to has great meaning and great significance. Even if you're a very good artist or writer, poet or musician, or you don't have to be very, very, very good, but you like doing it. Crystals, healing. There's a feeling of when I put my hands on this, I feel a connection. Even as I'm kind of tuning into your energy and putting my hand out like that, I even feel it. I feel a beautiful connection. So that's very, very nice. I was going down another route there for some of you, talking about this touching, the hands touching things and making a beautiful connection. Your touch is very healing. So you could be offering healing, just putting your arm around somebody this month, just holding them, just giving them a squeeze and just saying it's going to be okay. And it's in the hands, it's in the energy that's really pouring out of you now, Cancer, to heal. To heal. Now this is very random, but there's this phrase, I saw this and I thought of you. So you could be online at home or whatever, going through Etsy, going shopping online, whatever, and there's a feeling of being stopped in your tracks and seeing something. And you'd say, there's a friend or a family member or somebody I care for who would love this. And you'd no intention of doing that, but you buy it and get it delivered to them or something, or it could be very small. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It's, I saw this and thought of you. And there's a feeling of just sending it without any message. And they just receiving it in the post or whatever. And they call you and say, what's all this about? I saw this and I thought of you. So there are people far away from you, maybe friends or family who aren't very near to your house. And there's a feeling of doing something very nice for them, maybe very privately or doing it secretly, saying, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do this one thing because I know they'll love it. They'll get a surprise. It'll make them really happy. Even some of you, I see here the energy of if somebody's maybe in need of a small bit of money and you have an extra little stash of coins somewhere, there's a feeling of, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say even who it's from. I'm just going to, give it to them. You know, like, you remember the old aunt or the granny or whatever who used to, when your parents weren't looking, just slip some coin into your hand and you're like, and they're like, say nothing, don't say anything. That's the kind of feeling I have with you, Cancer. A kind of giving somebody something very nice, and a kind of thing of, you know, don't say anything to anybody. This is just between us. This is just a little gift for you. You know, it's a kind of, again, that thing. I saw this and thought of you. I have this and thought of you. It could be something you find at home, and a photograph, anything simple, and you just post it off to somebody because, again, I saw this and thought of you. And you know something? In doing that, that is one of the first proofs that you're listening to Spirit, because Spirit is now saying, before your birthday comes in, I want you to tidy up loose ends. I want you to, now I'm not saying give everything away, but there might be something that you need to give to somebody, return to somebody, give a photograph, give a thing. Again, it's the thought, there's a feeling in it. And you'll say, you know what, I'll post that off to them. And you're listening to Spirit when you're doing that. It's a thing. And again, it could be something you just find at home rather than finding on the internet. And I'm sticking with this, Cancer, maybe purely for selfish reasons, because when I'm tuning into your energy, it makes me feel good. And what I love is that's what's going to also happen for you. It's that beautiful, you know, a very contented feeling. There's no bells and whistles. There's no shouting and roaring from the rooftop. It's like, you know, say nothing. This is just private. This is just between me and Spirit. This is just between me and that person. It's nothing big. This is just a thing that we're doing now. And feeling so, you know, that lovely feeling, Cancer, when you're just, I don't know, you just feel good in yourself, feeling connected. So that's very, very nice. I really like that. I really like that for you, because you are a very thoughtful person. And I wonder, is that what Spirit wants you to? It's like they're encouraging more of that in you. It's, you know, Cancer, you've had to put up with a lot, maybe having to put up with this perfection, maybe having to put up with high standards. That's also what I feel. You know, you must be here, you must do this, you must do that, you must jump through hoops. And the opposite of that for you, according to what I'm feeling here, is the thing of, there's nothing perfect in this. It doesn't have to be the perfect gift, it doesn't have to be the perfect time, it doesn't have to be the perfect moment. But in that, it will be perfect. It's the allowance of the imperfections that creates the perfection. Okay, so we'll move on a little bit from that, Cancer, because, again, I think I was just being purely selfish there, because I loved what I felt tuning into your energy. I really enjoyed that warm feeling. A warm feeling. So very, very nice. Now, we have a few cards coming out there, and you're saying, wait, haven't we just been talking about warm feelings and this card comes out? What's that all about? Okay, we have a few others. Yeah. I'm just waiting on two more here, Cancer. So there is strong spiritual strength with you, and you're getting proof because it's coming through in your personality. That's what I like. The spiritual part of you, that strong part of your personality is really being seen. It's being known. People are seeing power. People are seeing a more powerful side of your personality that you had hidden for a long time. You know, that the veil is being dropped, and it's like, did you not know I had this power? And people are like, why were you hiding that? We want more of that. We want more of that. And you're like, get in line, get in line, you know, chill, bitches. I have an infinite supply of where this came from. And people are loving it. I feel that. People are loving this infinite supply of this very chill connection you have with Spirit that is powerful. Yeah, you can't tell at all that I'm enjoying reading for you. I really love this energy. And you know what it feels like, Cancer? It's like being in that, like a nice, chilled space, like in a warm lagoon somewhere, twinkling energy, and it's just like, this is my zone. Bring me my cocktail. I am happy here. I may not be able to go on vacation this summer or at this point, but you know what? I'm on a vacation with spirit this month. Spiritual vacation. And I'm enjoying every bit of it. Give me that cosmic cocktail and whatever else is going. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, a lot of communication as this card. Yeah, a lot of very magical communication between you and people, you and spirit. I just get the feeling like you are making a reconnection with your divine source. Through writing, through enjoying abstract things, spiritual things, through investigating unusual things. I'm going to say unusual. Maybe they're not actually very unusual, but you find them particularly, unusual, or you're drawn to it, and you're getting a great level of connection with that. I also sense for you there's a great pouring out of feelings in a very magical, very divine source connected way, creative way. It's like an emotional catharsis. And you're setting yourself now to the default setting of being in the flow. There's this feeling of, before my birthday arrives, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to rest. I'm going to relax. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to nourish. And I am getting my batteries charged up again, because when my birthday rolls around at my new beginning, I am letting the past completely dissolve, and I am ready. And I get that with you, Cancer. There's a feeling of, oh bitch, I'm ready. I have never been more ready. I've never been more ready to show my real power here. But it's a very chill power, but potent. Cancer, I like that. Let me get out of your energy, because even I'm feeling like that twinkling lagoon where the cocktails are being passed around. I'm like, can I stay for a while? Do you mind if this Aries hangs out with you for a bit? We can not chat. I don't mind, whatever you want to do, but I am loving this energy right now for you, Cancer. I love it. So let's get over with your magic hands over to your big grand, ta-da, your overview, my love. So, well, it's about time that you were disconnected from the old karma, the old past. I feel some of you unplugging from a person, an actual person, somebody that you've been in some sort of a relationship with, be it a love relationship, a working relationship, business, friendship, family thing. It's, oh, here we go. We're unplugging from this now, because this fenced me in. Look at her, circled by knives there, the bird in the bird cage. I can't see anything. And sometimes this card represents, I have to close my eyes to the behaviors of others in order to just get by. They're expecting perfection from me, but bitch, unless I close my eyes, I could call them out on a million things that I see wrong with them. But to keep the peace, to keep it moving, to keep flying here, I've just got to close my eyes to their behavior. And in some cases, lessen myself, dumb myself down in order to fit in with these people. Dumb myself down because I'm trapped by this. I'm trapped by their version of what good behavior is. I'm trapped by how they believe things should run, things should operate, things should go. Very trapped. But you know what? I am not seduced by this anymore. I am not emotionally connected to this anymore. I get the feeling for some of you there was a type of seduction, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a love thing. It's like when I first connected with this person, I was very drawn in by them. I was very taken in by them. They offered something of value to me. They offered a healing to me. They did have something that I needed. But there was a trade-off. in getting the thing that I needed from them, the love, the affection, the education, the warmth, the understanding of something, in getting what I came for, I had to shut up and put up. And I'm not so seduced by that person anymore. I'm not so attracted to what they have to offer anymore. I don't either feel guilty by pulling my energy away from them. Now again, you may still be involved with this person, family, friend, work, even relationship, but it's the unplugging that I feel. You know what? Things are going to be different from now on. I'm not emotionally seduced or under pressure or emotionally bound to living by your standard anymore. I'm no longer seeking your approval for anything in my life anymore. The charm and the seduction has worn off. The shine has worn off this. And here's me here just about to unravel myself from you, because I don't feel that it's like I feel I've paid my karmic due to you. I feel that I'm not honor bound to you anymore. I don't feel like it's such a wrench to unplug from you. But this could come with a bit of a challenge, because this is the feeling of somebody getting quite annoyed that you're not playing the game anymore, that you're doing things outside of their law, doing things outside of their parameter, doing things outside of their model of perfection. And they might come at you a little bit and they might tell you how wrong you are. Why do you want to do it this way? This way is perfect. Why do you want to change everything up? And then the fault finding comes, because that's how I think you got quite trapped by somebody's fault finding. And then you started to mirror their behavior and started to find fault in yourself. So they're amping it up here. They're really turning it on big time again to get you back in to their model of how things should be done. But again, it's like I can't. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. You can shout all you like. You can demand all you like. You can stamp your little feet all you like. But I can't go back. I can't, because I've outgrown that model of behavior. I've outgrown you, and I've outgrown my need for you. But maybe we can still be friends. But here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to accept your bad behavior, or I'm not going to accept that your way is the only way to do things. There are new ways in this world. We're entering into a whole new way of living and experiencing life. There's new ways to do everything. We must go beyond our limitations. But first things first, I am going beyond your limited view of how I should behave. I'm beyond your limitations of me. And there you are with your hat on, your coat on, feeling very strong, looking out over the tower and saying, there's a whole world out there. The world is changing, and I feel empowered to be part of it. Now, I will say this for some of you. It's not for everybody, but it is very strong for some of you. I feel some of you having left a relationship with somebody who was quite controlling. You must do this with your money. You must do this. You must dress like this. You must eat this. You must not drink this or only drink this. Somebody who has that level of control over you. You are not able to be seen to do anything that offends them. Now, again, I know that will only be for a small few people, but what I'm very, very happy about is that your karmic debt in some way to each other, because sometimes we enter very, very strange relationships like that because there is some unfinished business. But it seems now that the business is done. The ledger has been balanced. The books have been balanced. All debts have been paid. You have learned a lot As I said, even from negative situations, we learn a lot. Maybe learning how you never have to get into a relationship like that again, but the books are now balanced and it's closed. And you're now free. You're free of this karmically, energetically. And the decision now really is for you to move on here. You're no longer the bird in the bird cage. It could have been a love relationship, or it could have been a teacher, student, boss. So there's something, but the debt has been paid. You're no longer obliged to stick with that anymore. There's a freedom. There's a freedom here. So mid-month, it seems that it's very difficult for some of you to... how would you say it? This is a moon in Cancer. We do have the new moon in Cancer on June 21st, but there's a feeling of it's difficult for me to get back into my skin again. I know that sounds strange, but it's like I have been wearing a suit. And what is a suit? Think of the word suit. It suits the occasion. It suits somebody. The suit that suited somebody else. It was a suit, something that you had to wear, something that you had to put on to be suitable. Suited up to be suitable. But that suit is coming off. And now there's a feeling of I need to test my own skin. I'm sorry if that sounds a bit gross or weird or whatever. I don't mean it for that. But it's like, where am I? Who am I? The skin that I'm in. I don't have to suit up to be suitable. I must be comfortable in the skin that I'm in. I hope that's not too abstract or weird. It's about rediscovering what you find perfect in your life. Rediscovering your own models of behavior, your own laws, your own experiences, your own moral code, your own standards, your own ethics, your own beliefs about how freedom looks, how a life experience looks. And when I look at my skin, the skin that I'm in, not wearing a suit to be suitable for every occasion, who am I? So that's interesting. Excuse me, Cancer. With energy in the first house, especially the new moon, the first house is where we give off our appearance, our aura, the very vibe we're giving off, our first impression. And I feel that with you, I need to get back into my skin. I need to know what aura I'm giving off, what vibe I'm giving off, what impression I'm giving out there. But my first impression is no longer going to be designed to suit other people. It's the skin that I'm in and the power that comes when I'm just dressed in my spiritual light. Again, I know that might be a bit too much for some of you, but it is that feeling. And deeply contemplating this, again, this is a moon in Cancer card, deeply contemplating how do I start again, but being more me than ever before. And looking back at the past, looking back at this connection with this person or people and saying, when I limited myself or when I was suiting, because now you have a new birthday suit. Yes, the birthday suit is what you're wearing now. This suit is no longer to suit other people. Because when I look back on that, suiting other people, it didn't feel like something that was sweet, that I wanted to drink down, that was nourishing me, that was feeding me, that was the sweet elixir, the wine of life. It didn't feel like I was being nourished by that. And then for your birthday gift, the cosmos coming in and saying, but we can start over. This is the sweetest wine. This is my first birthday gift to you, is to look up, Cancer, look up, put on your birthday suit. And drink down the sweetness of our connection, spirit, divine source, and being nourished by this. I hope I'm explaining that right, Cancer. I am now nourished by spirit, and I'm putting on my birthday suit or my pre-birthday suit, and I'm no longer adapting in the way I had to suit other people. I'm now suited and they are booted. That's what I feel. So it's difficult still, though, to make the decision to let somebody or something go. I just feel what the universe is trying to do. It's trying to give you a gentle transition here, and I like that. That's very admirable, and that's a beautiful gift from Spirit. It's saying there are probably big changes, Cancer, that you have to make, and I honour that and I acknowledge that, and I know these changes aren't easy for you. But it is a tower that has to collapse. What are towers? Towers are man-made structures. The purpose of this tower was, on a very unsteady foundation, they built a high tower to rise up to the gods. But it was man-made. It was fake. It was a structure, and it had to be knocked down, knocked from the crown down. Because that's not how you get to God. That's not how you get to Spirit, how you get to the heavens, by fake structures. If we behave right and do everything right, then we'll be good people. Spirit is saying, you don't have to make it so difficult. All you have to do is to connect the crown. All you have to do is connect. And it's saying, I wish you knew that. I wish you started trusting that again. You don't have to jump through hoops for me to love you. You just have to be open to be with me. You just have to be open to walk with me. Then we'll be besties. You don't have to try so hard. And let it go. Let it go. As difficult as it is, slowly begin the journey this month of letting this model of behavior, or the fault finding, or the other people who insisted upon perfection from you, you're moving out of that chapter now, and let it go. Now I feel towards the end of the month a feeling of somebody criticizing you for the work that you're doing. We're still at this thing of criticizing, fault finding, somebody coming in. Sometimes this card is the energy of somebody watching you, wanting to know your business. What are you doing? What are you at? And you trying to keep what you're doing quite secret. I'm keeping this to myself. I'm hard at work on something which I see towards the end of the month is going to bring a great success for you. Hard at work at something secret. I'm not letting people know what I'm doing. This is my business. This is what I'm at now. But people wanting to know your business, and you say, no, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you about it. Mercury retrograding in Cancer this month. With you, Mercury is all about communicating something, but maybe at times keeping it hidden. It's almost like the feeling you've learned the hard way. You used to tell everybody what you were doing or how you did things or what you were up to. And now you're saying, I don't feel I need to do that. I don't feel I need to tell somebody or everybody what I'm doing. It's my business. Cancer, this is a weird feeling again, only for a small few of you. Did some of you feel like you had to report back to somebody? Somebody wanted to know, could have been a jealous person or an envious person, wanting to know, well, where did you go? What were you doing? What are you doing? Who are you talking to on the phone? Now, again, Cancer, absolutely, that's a chapter that's over. You don't need to be in that anymore. And now there's an element throughout the month of changing something up, but you're secretive about it in a positive way. You're saying, no, this is what I call self-preservation. I am not telling everybody my business, even though they're dying to know. Is it a secret opportunity to make coin? A secret opportunity, maybe some of you, to do something within your work. Now, perhaps, and I don't know what's going to be happening in June, but if it's possible to do some traveling for your work, it's work-related travel, or travel to see somebody that's very far away who you really want to connect with. And even for some of you, putting coin aside to do something secret, putting coin away to do a secret business move, putting coin away to travel to see somebody, and I'm sorry to say this, but I am picking up on this for some of you, putting coin away for an escape plan. Escaping a person, escaping a scene, escaping a situation, escaping a work thing, and setting everything up in the background so that your all systems go by the time you're ready to come out and work your magic on that. Because I feel there's secret things happening in the background that are in the works that will bring you a success, because you're ready at the end of the month to meet the crossroads and to take a whole new path, a whole new chapter, something absolute, a new experience starting in your life. And I will say this, there's a blessing here for some of you about you did a very good deed for somebody or even a group of people, a very charitable deed or a very kind act. And there's something about that coming back to you. That kindness is being rewarded. And you've a whole new path. But the magic is strong with you. A very strong magical change. New paths, new directions. And I do feel new success coming your way. And the need, of course, to keep it under wraps for a while, say nothing. Not everybody needs to know your business, Cancer. Not everybody needs to know what you're doing. And it's different. It's not being secretive to hide your flaws because you must be seen as perfect. This is my business. And when I'm finished and when I'm ready and when I'm moving on this and have my successful moment with this, when that happens, then everybody's going to see what I didn't show them before. Okay, so that's very interesting, Cancer. I'm going to leave it at that for this month. Now, you know that we have the extended version of this reading. We continue on the deep read on Vimeo, and we go into the different themes and topics in a more focused way. Relationships, we'll talk about that. The singles, we'll talk about, is there love energy in the air for you and your birthday season, pre-birthday? We'll talk about your money and your career. A lot of force going into your career, a lot of movement happening there. Family, home, friends. We'll go into it in much greater detail in the extended version of this reading and the deep read on Vimeo. How do you get to it, Cancer? The same way as always. Down there below in the description box, there's a link to it. Click into it, come on over, and we'll go into those sections in a deeper way. So I'll see you over there. But if we are going to leave it here at the general read for this month, then my love, happy pre-birthday, happy birthday. And as always, I'm going to leave you with all my love and a great, great, great big birthday kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my beautiful. Bye.